Hello, my friends. Andy over at Today's CBD Oil. I got to fix this so my head isn't always cut off by the by the thing. I should work all this out. You know what? 12 o'clock snuck up on me. That's why I started just maybe about 30 seconds, maybe a minute late. I'm so busy into what's going on in the news right now that I was just totally engrossed with what was happening. So I apologize for that. And I just want to take this time to, again, just go over, because I'm sure there are some people that are seeing this particular video and haven't been, watching me over the last couple of days, which I'm shocked. You should be watching everything I do. But if this is the first time that you're watching this, I just want to make sure you understand what I'm doing, because if you look down, wherever you're watching this, whether it's on my Today's CBD Oil business page, or if you're watching this on YouTube or Twitter, not Twitch, because Twitch gets rid of the videos after they've been gone live. I forget how long. I think it's a couple hours, but or 24 hours. But if you're wondering what all these videos about frequently asked questions all about, is I'm putting together the program so that I can send people to it very easily by sending them to a URL. Usually it'll be a branded URL, so I'll probably have something like Today's CBD FAQ or something like that .com. And when they go there, they can click on a button, put their name and email address, and then have access to all the frequently asked questions that I get asked in regard to CBD and Viseo, Overcome Nation, and all of our other wellness products. And so I'm creating the videos using Facebook Live. I'm repurposing, like I just said, I'm broadcasting live right now in a number of different social platforms. So wherever you're watching this, if you're watching this on Twitter, glad to see you. If you're watching this on YouTube, hi, how you doing? And if you're watching this on Twitch, so happy that you've decided to join me on Twitch or Facebook, of course. That's another one that I'm broadcasting on. So what I'm doing is then taking these videos, and they are automatically going to a Dropbox. I have another tool that just takes all my Facebook Lives, drops them into a Dropbox folder. I then will take out the different videos and start to finish. So if it's a frequently asked question, 1, and I'm going to use that, then I just cut at the beginning and I cut at the end, and that will go into my program. And once I get that done, all of you that have been watching and see what I'm doing, you'll see the results. And I've already edited the 6 videos that I did over the weekend, and now moving into some of these more lengthy videos, which this one is going to be about the endocannabinoid system. It is not always a frequently asked question, mostly because most people don't know to ask the question. So this would be called an SAQ, not an FAQ. An SAQ is a should ask question. If you're doing any kind of social media marketing, the training that I've done over for the last 10 years is to teach my clients and entrepreneurs that you should know not only the 10 most frequently asked questions, but the 10 most should ask questions, and create videos or blogs, or what else would there be? Some other writing of some sort, maybe a white paper on both the frequently asked questions and the should ask questions. So this falls under more of a should ask question, because there are doctors that don't know anything about the endocannabinoid system. And I have trained a number of them over the last couple of years on what the endocannabinoid system is. So it is an important question that people should be asking. Hey, Julie, nice to see you. Rosie's on. She asked me about when I'm going to be doing one regarding dogs and pets. And that one will be coming up either later today or tomorrow. I'm hoping, things happen. On Tuesdays, I get my kids. And so things kind of become derailed as they have their homework and special projects they need help with and that kind of stuff. All right. So what I'm going to do, again, as I've done and mentioned in all of my other videos, is I take away the branding. So I'm going to remove the branding. I was eating peanuts, and I think I just saw some peanuts on my chest. And so I'm going to remove the branding, and I'm going to put up what is a scrolling banner underneath, which suggests to people or tells people that if you're interested in learning more about Viseo and Overcome Nation, to contact me, or the person that showed them this video. And so this is what I'm doing because sometimes my brand partners that are on my team will ask me, hey, I don't feel comfortable putting videos together, or, you know, you've done a little bit better job than what I think I can do. And so can I use your video? And I'm going to make these available to my brand partners. If anybody wants one or two or all of them, whatever, let me know. I'll just send you a Dropbox link that will give you access to all the videos, and you can use them however you want. You have my permission. All right. So that's why I'm taking off the branding. You don't see me wearing a shirt that says today's CBD oil. You don't see it underneath here. I may accidentally mention it, but again, that's purely by accident. I'm not intending to do that. And I don't want to get any of the impression that if you use my stuff, I'm trying to steal your customers. I don't believe anybody at Overcome Nation would ever feel that way. I have a strong relationship, I think, with most people at Overcome Nation, and hope that they would never think that. Now, the old company I went with, that's all they thought. No matter what I did, I got little messages. Hey, you can't do that. You are, I forget what they use. They use some words, stealing customers or something like that, just because I would use something with my logo on. It was a very strange time. So anyway, I'm over here, and that's not how our team feels. So in one moment, I'm going to, oops, you know what I did not do? I need to create a banner here. Sorry. I did not do that ahead of time. And I meant to. What is the endocannabinoid system? And question mark. All right, so now I created a banner. So now this banner will come up. So I'm going to create this, put this banner up. Oops, you know what? This should be number 7. Hold on, I need to take it back down. So now you're watching how the sausage is made, as I just heard on the on the TV, and you should not be seeing this part, but I'm accidentally showing you this part. That this is what I do prior to a broadcast, and create these banners. And so what I'm going to do is as I clap to begin, not now, but I'm going to clap to cause a audio spike, so that when I bring the video onto my computer over here, I can see that audio spike, and that's where I will cut that particular part of the video so that it makes total sense. Hey, oh no, I'm sorry. Rosie is talking to Judy. Hey, Judy, if you're watching, nice to see you. Go ahead and comment. Let me know where you're watching from. And thank you, Rosie, for bringing other people on. All right. So I'm going to bring that banner back up here. And then I'm going to clap. And I want to let you know why I'm clapping, because you might think it's strange. Like, why is he clapping? But again, it causes an audio spike in the editing process. I just look for that spike, and then I can take my my timeline to that point, and then cut and splice that particular video, and then use the rest of it after that. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and give a clap now, and then I will begin teaching about what is the endocannabinoid system. All right, here we go. All right, so the, sorry, I'm gonna do that again. Again, you're seeing how the sausage is made. All right, here we go. All right, another important question that you should be asking is, what is the endocannabinoid system? I've talked about this in some of the other frequently asked questions that I have, and I gotta admit, this usually is not a frequently asked question. This is more along the lines of a should ask question. And the reason being is not a lot of people, including doctors, know about the endocannabinoid system. So my job today will be to share with you the information that I have gathered that I think is super important for you to understand in regard to the endocannabinoid system. I'm not going to go into all the very scientific aspects of this particular system, but I'm going to give you some really important facts so that you can know and understand that this is a real a system that is in mammals, all mammals, that essentially is the thing that regulates our overall wellness. And it's a more recently discovered system in our body, and I think that's why many people don't know about it. Doctors that I've spoken to in places like Nashville, Tennessee, and other locations that I've spoken to them in regard to CBD and in the endocannabinoid system have never been taught this. It was not ever brought up in their schooling. As a matter of fact, if they went to school prior to 1994, they heard nothing about endocannabinoid. I would venture to say that in 2000 there was no information that would have been relative to any of the courses or any of the information that they would got at the time, because it was still in its infancy stages and not a lot of people know about it. As a matter of fact, like I said today, it's probably still not being taught in medical institutions. All right, so what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna get rid of this banner so that you can see here. I'm gonna bring up my screen, and I'm gonna use a PowerPoint presentation to illustrate more about this endocannabinoid system. It'll be a lot easier for you and I to get through this, so that I can just show you what the endocannabinoid system is. All right, so here we go. So the endocannabinoid system is the most widespread receptor system in the human body. I'm going to skip this slide, but if you want more information, you can just simply go to, wow, what happened there? ECS. Sorry about that. I need to go back. That's ECSCBD.rock. Somewhere I've uploaded this to Google Slides, and somehow Google Slides got that, I don't know, reduced the CBD part down to a very small font. So it's ECSCBD.rocks is the URL you go to get more information. All right, so here we go. All right, the most important person you need to know right now in regard to CBD, to medical marijuana, to the endocannabinoid system is this gentleman right here. His name is Raphael Mechoulam, Dr. Raphael Mechoulam. He's out of Israel and is a professor at the Hebrew University. And he is believed to be the father of cannabis. Look him up. He's a fantastic gentleman. He has great YouTube videos. He's on a lot of documentaries and is referenced in regard to anything in regard to cannabis, because he is the father of everything that we are learning today about the benefits of cannabis and CBD. So in 1960, Raphael Mechoulam was the first scientist who isolated THC and CBD. This sparked interest in how cannabinoids work in the body. So again, he was the first one. Up to 1960, cannabis in regard to hemp and marijuana, prior to prohibition here in the United States, was being used widely as a pharmaceutical for a number of different ailments. A very common one, even back in the early years of Chinese medicine, some 2,000 to 3,000 years ago, it was being used to help people with seizures and pain and discomfort, anxiety and depression, even before what we know now about THC and CBD. But it always seemed to be present not only in Chinese medicine, but as it came into Western medicine prior to prohibition. There were millions of prescriptions being written for cannabis related and CBD and THC related pharmaceuticals prior to 1960, but nobody knew why. As far as I can tell, they just knew that it seemed to be the thing that helped people with different types of ailments. But it wasn't until 1960 that Raphael Mechoulam was the first scientist who isolated THC and CBD and then sparked the interest in how cannabinoids worked in the body. So in 1970, Raphael discovered we have receptors that are sensitive to CBD. That's why when the CBD is introduced into the body, that suddenly our body has certain positive effects. Right. It was felt that there had to be something going on in the body, right? There had to be something receiving it. And in 1970, Raphael discovered those receptors that are sensitive to CBD. So he began searching for endogenous cannabinoids. The reason he started searching for endogenous cannabinoids is because if we have receptors that are sensitive to a certain nutrient of some sort, we must produce it. Because that's kind of what happens. Our body, will say all of a sudden, hey, you have this need for something. Then our body goes, okay, we better kick in and produce some because we need that in order to balance out this thing that's causing problems. And the body will produce whatever that nutrient is. All right. So if there's a receptor for it, then our body must be creating it. And thereby we must have endogenous cannabinoids in our body. And in 1992, again, fairly recently, if you really look at of history, is that the first endogenous cannabinoid was found by Raphael Mechoulam and researchers at the NIMH, the National Institute of Mental Health. So it's not just Raphael at this point. There are other universities, other institutions that are partnering with or studying at the same time that Raphael is doing this research, because of course he's making his research known. So other people are hopping on the bandwagon and trying to figure out, and maybe be the first to find endogenous cannabinoids. And between Raphael and the NIMH, they discover the first indigenous cannabinoid. They call it Anandamide, endogenous cannabinoids. They called it Anandamide. Endogenous cannabinoids are cannabinoids produced by our own body. They discovered that Anandamide attaches to the same receptors THC does, the CB1 receptor, which are mostly found in our brain. Anandamide got its name from Sanskrit word Ananda, which means bliss. In 1993, the second cannabinoid receptor was found. These CB2 receptors are predominantly located in the nervous system as well as the immune system. And so that is where, when we begin to CBD, we see the results of those things like inflammation, some of the things in regard to diabetes are probably because the CBD2 receptor is being stimulated by CBD once it hits that receptor. The second endogenous cannabinoid was discovered by Raphael Mechoulam team, and they named it 2-arachidonoglycerol. I butcher that every time. In other words, 2-AG, that's what we're going to call it. They discovered that 2-AG binds to both CB1 and CB2 receptors. So another fantastic find. And only in 1995. So that really wasn't that long ago. And then again, that's why you don't hear doctors talking about it. And if you bring it up to your doctor, they probably know zero to nothing about CBD and why and how it affects the body, because they've not studied the endocannabinoid system. So we now know, based on Raphael and other researchers' studies, is that in the body of mammals, it's important, right? Because we know that it affects both human beings, dogs, and cats, and horses. When given CBD, there seems to be some positive results that occur once they add that to their diet. So in the body of mammals, there are two main cannabinoid receptors: cannabinoid receptor type 1, CB1, and cannabinoid receptor type 2, CB2. It is at this point in our history that Raphael Mechoulam and scientists discover what is known as the endocannabinoid system. You can see in the word endocannabinoid, that is a mixture of the words endogenous cannabinoids, and they put those things together because it's called the endocannabinoid system. It really just kind of reaffirms that this is something in our body that our body produces on its own, which is CBD, and it affects something that brings us into what is called total balance. So cannabinoid receptors are found all over the body. They are everywhere: the brain, the spinal cord, the immune system, the internal organs, and the peripheral nervous system, and even on the skin. The endocannabinoid system is the most widespread receptor system in the human body. And that is amazing that we did not discover that until 1995, right? This is something this is why it's so new. This is why people have so many questions. This is why so many people don't understand it. And this is why people are saying, if you take CBD, well, how could it possibly affect my brain and yet also affect the pain that I'm having in my knee? How can it also affect my high blood pressure, but also affect my diabetes? It doesn't make any sense. Well, that's because it is the most widespread receptor system in our human body and the body of animals. So what is the importance of the endocannabinoid system? Well, the endocannabinoid system is a very integral system that modulates almost everything within the body. It tends to bring things to homeostasis, which means it brings things to balance. And when it does so, we affect, based on the research and studies, is that it affects gastrointestinal activity, cardiovascular activity, pain perception, modulation of neurotransmitter release, maintenance of bone mass, protection of neurons, hormonal regulation, metabolism control, immune function, inflammatory reactions, inhibition of tumors cells. And so why do we need it? Why, if our body creates it, if our body has endogenous CBD, why is it that we need to add additional CBD to our diet? Well, as we get older, we produce less and less endogenous cannabinoids. We have been starved of CBD for several decades thanks to prohibition. We have more carcinogens and other harmful substances in our food and air than ever before. And we have more stress and physical brain damage in our lives than ever before. I've talked about this before, that anytime we are awake, based on a book by Matthew West, he wrote a book called Why We Sleep. And in that book, he talks about how every moment that we are awake, we are causing damage to our brain. Now you add, and that's just a normal day of normal, daily life without stress. Now you add, fighting with your spouse, problems with a child perhaps, or problems at work, or financial issues that you may be struggling with. You add that to your brain's already damaged process during a woken moment, and you have damage that is being done on a daily basis. And so at cell phones that add to that stress, that the CBD simply is necessary to help us in that repair of the brain. Helping us sleep is one of those things, and that CBD tends to help a lot of people with. And that is really one of the first things that I recognize with CBD is that my sleep began to get longer and better. And when I woke up, I was far more refreshed. CBD simply changes lives. That is really important for you to remember, that it changes lives from those people that have illness and sickness, and then those people that are totally well. If you add CBD to your life, it'll change the outcome of your future life, because there are studies that show that you can prolong things that affect the brain, for instance, like Alzheimer's or dementia, and that kind of stuff. There have been studies who have found that it's possible that CBD can affect the future outcome of something that you may suffer from. The inhibition of the growth of cells for cancer and that type of thing. That again is a positive thing that will change your life, and you may not have known it just simply because you've been adding CBD to your diet. All right, let's go ahead and come back to, there we go, come back to my screen. All right, so this is what the endocannabinoid system is. This is why we need to take CBD on a regular basis, whether you're healthy or you're not. This is how it is possible that you are just now learning about the system and never heard it before. It's because it was only discovered and kind of all put together in 1995. And so this is so important for you to understand the system and why CBD works, why this tincture full of this fantastic production of CBD1 by Raphael, which has liposome technology, which allows the CBD to get in your body much more effectively, is so important. And you need to understand that the other products that don't have some type of delivery system are not doing you any service, because our body does not absorb CBD that is not endogenous into our body. When it's a pure CBD oil, it is far too big of a nutrient. Our body rejects it, and we simply urinate it out when it comes in contact, when it comes into whether our body absorbs it or not. The cream that we have also has liposome technology. Where's the front? Liposome technology, which allows it to absorb into our skin and get into a place where it can begin to get used. And so this is important to understand, that when you're talking about CBD, and when I'm talking about CBD, I'm talking about CBD1 by Raphael, which has a delivery system. It's a patented formulation that has partnering ingredients that allows the body to absorb that CBD effectively and allows our body to use it to bring all of our other systems into homeostasis through the endocannabinoid system. That's what makes the endocannabinoid system so important. So even though you may not have had this as one of a question, I hope that I've answered this question that you should have known and should have asked. And that's why it's so important that I give this to you. All right. So I will see you on the next video. Take care. All right. So that's it. And so what I'll do is edit at the claps, the first clap and the last clap, and then that will go into my my program that I'm creating that, many of you will be able to see on a later basis. Julie said, thank you. You're welcome. I appreciate you saying so. Point of clarification, animals also have an endocannabinoid system, right? Yeah, I think I said that a couple times. Mammals. When I talk about mammals, I'm talking about animals. So maybe that wasn't clear. But in the thing, I talk about mammals. All mammals, living mammals, have the endocannabinoid system. And so they have the same benefit from CBD. But I'm pretty sure I said that a couple times in there because it's on a couple slides. And so I read simply from the slides. All right. So and I appreciate Rosie's question earlier, is if I'm going to do one on pets. And yes, I'll be doing another one on pets, like I said, later today or tomorrow or something like that. So I hope this found you, you found this interesting, and that it is something that you can utilize in your daily life to understand why you need CBD in your diet on a regular basis for forever. It's just another dietary supplement that you should be taking. If you're taking Core Complete, man, normally I have a bag of Core Complete here, but I don't. It's way down there. If you're taking Core Complete, these vitamins, dietary supplements, you're going to take those for the rest of your life, because you need to add those things that we don't get in our diet necessarily, at least not at a level that will do us any good. We may be getting vitamin D from the sun, but we also may not be getting out enough to have enough vitamin D for our body. And so you need to add a little bit so that you get the daily requirement that your body needs. It's the same thing with vitamin C, A, Elementa P, whatever other vitamins you take that your body is lacking. Taking these supplements that our bodies need, because our diets are not, enough to sustain the needs for our body. CBD is another one of those things. And so you need to add that to your diet. All right. So that's it. I hope so. Oh, nice. Renew, anti-inflammatory, and Core Complete. Fantastic. Renew is an amazing product. I take it on a daily basis too, along with the CBD. CBD really seems to power boost and really enhance the benefits of Renew. of V3, V Slim, of Core Complete, and all the others. So CBD is like a power booster for all those other products that we have here at Viseo, which again, I'll be talking about that on another video that will go into this program. All right, so I hope this has been good for you. If you are watching the replay, make sure and share and like and comment. That would be awesome if you would do so. All right, thank you very much. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.